Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome to the Week 15 Steelers preview. I'm your host, Jim Sella, here with Jay Dash. The Pittsburgh Steelers roll into Cincinnati to take on the 5-7-1 Bengals. Dash, before we get into anything, who is Vontaze Burfict going to try to injure this time?
Anyone he can.
Please believe.
Whoever he can hit.
A cheap shot artist.
Believe it.
So anyway, this game means nothing for Cincinnati. It means everything for the Steelers, having the Ravens lose on Monday night against the Patriots. That gives Pittsburgh sole possession of first place in the AFC North.
Do you actually believe it means nothing to Cincinnati?
Well, for playoff hopes.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but they would really like
playoff hopes.
Yes, definitely. It definitely means something to them.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about playoff-wise. It means nothing.
Right. Go ahead.
Okay, so now that you rudely interrupted me, it means nothing for
Well, I'm going to interrupt you here in a minute, so go ahead.
The Ravens lost to the Patriots. That gives Pittsburgh sole possession of AFC North, but they still have that Christmas Day game against the Ravens. So the Ravens can still win it, so Pittsburgh still needs to win this football game. So, yes, it means something for Cincinnati. They would love to play spoiler against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they played in Week 2 in Pittsburgh, obviously. The score was 24-16. Pittsburgh, and if you remember, Giovanni Bernard did it big in that game, had 100 yards receiving, and he will not be in this game. But A.J. Green, who's been out for a while, did practice Wednesday, so it looks like he'll be back. And really, this is the first time I remember facing A.J. Green with a secondary I believe in, so I want to see what happens between him and Artie Burns and Cockrell in this game.
You know, Ike Taylor was actually able to shut A.J. Green down some of the time.
Definitely.
Rag on Ike because he can't catch, but he actually had a couple decent games against him, and I know AJ had a lot of big games against him too, but
but I'm saying as a secondary overall that I believe in, even Ike Taylor in the end there, while he was still a good corner, the secondary as a whole really still wasn't that great. Even with Polamalu in the end there, it wasn't that great.
Oh yeah, both of those guys at the end of their career, you could tell, were struggling a little bit on the field. I'm excited to see Artie Burns going one-on-one with A.J. Green if he plays, because Artie Burns has got the size to, match A.J. Green and go up and get that football. And Burns looks like he's got a nose for the football, has 3 picks already this year in limited play. He's only been a starter for a couple weeks.
Outside of that, I'd like to see if Tyler Boyd can stay involved while A.J. Green comes back as well. We've seen without A.J. Green, Boyd played admirably. He really wasn't a beast or anything, but he looked pretty good. I want to see him stay involved because when A.J. Green was healthy, Tyler Boyd only had 1 or 2 games where he was like a solid part of the offense at least. So I want to see if he stays involved as well. And we've seen Brandon LaFell blow up here and there the past few weeks, so you got to keep an eye on him as well, obviously. But the last time they played, Tyler Eifert wasn't in this game, and we know that they've had trouble in the pass against the tight end, although this season they've been much better against the tight end. So I want to see how Tyler Eifert can do against this defense as well. I mean, they got some weapons out there with A.J. Green back.
Tyler Eifert would help me if he had a big day, but also anger me at the same time. So I don't know what I should do about him. Maybe I'll just play Jordan Reed instead.
Is Jordan Reed going to be playing? He has been sitting recently.
Yeah, he's not even marked as injured anymore. Playing hurt, Jordan Reed caught 1 pass this past week.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call, man. I think the Steelers can win even if Tyler Eifert has a big game. So I don't know. Maybe Eifert. What'd he do last week?
He had 21 points against Cleveland.
Against Cleveland, yeah. Well, speaking of which, the Cincinnati Bengals come into this game with their first winning streak this season. They're on a 2-game win streak. The first time they beat the Eagles 32-14 and then went into Cleveland and won 23-10. So it wasn't like they had great competition or anything, but I think this is a week that streak is going to end. I like what I've seen out of the Steelers on the road in Cincinnati in the past, and I actually believe Big Ben is going to come up after a week where he had no touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Le'Veon Bell had 38 carries in that game. I think they're going to switch things up in this game, and Big Ben's going to be the guy people are talking about coming out of this game.
I think I look like a genius now because I said Cincinnati was going to be garbage, and it actually came true. Ha-ha! You're garbage, Bengals. Did you see the comment that somebody left on our Steelers-Bills preview show?
No, I did not. I seen someone said it was going to be 21-13 or something. They were pretty close, but no.
He says it was Bell. Good show, Yinzers. But he used bell emojis instead of the word bell, and he punctuated the exclamation point at the end of Yinzers. So I don't know if he's mocking us or if he's not. He didn't give us a thumbs down.
Well, hey, that's all that matters, right?
Please believe, give us them thumbs up. Everybody click that thumbs up, fool.
Hey, you can give us a thumbs down, whatever. Just come listen to the segment, and if you don't like it, give us a thumbs down. Who cares?
Hell no, all thumbs up.
Subscribe and give us a thumbs down. But you look, the Cincinnati Bengals, man, they are 5-7-1 this season. But you look at who they lost to. They lost at Pittsburgh versus the Broncos, at the Cowboys, at the Patriots, at the Giants, versus the Bills, and at the Ravens. So they've had a brutal schedule this season.
Hey, good teams find a way to win, and they have not. They're garbage.
I guess they've been garbage, but again, man, they've had a tough schedule. And, I mean, a couple of these games, look, at the New York Giants, they lost 21-20. Versus the Bills, 16-12. At the Ravens, 19-14. They actually had that game, well, not necessarily in hand. They could have won it in the end, and there was a fumble by Andy Dalton, I believe it was.
I like to rag on them. They've had a lot of injuries. Eifert was hurt early in the year. Now Gio's hurt. AJ Green's been hurt. So it's hard for an offense to stay consistent. They lost Hugh Jackson. He was their offensive coordinator for a couple of years, so Dalton was used to it. So all those changes make it tough. Nobody can predict the injuries, but that's kind of one of the reasons why I thought that the offense would have a little bit more of a down year with the new offensive coordinator, because I don't really believe Andy Dalton's a great quarterback. I believe he's a good system quarterback, and when he learns your system and perfects it, he can play well in it if you tailor it to his strengths, but that doesn't mean he's a franchise QB either.
Did you see who Cincinnati just signed?
JK-47?
Yeah, dead wrong. Randy Bullock.
Yeah. Block that dude.
Yeah, I think he got a game ball from Pittsburgh a few weeks ago, didn't he?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm good. He came in, he helped us win a game, but I don't care if they have him. They cut Mike Nugent because he missed like 8 extra points this year.
The Pittsburgh Steelers defense are at 31 sacks on the season now, man. That just a few weeks ago it was at like something like 12, wasn't it? So they've been on a tear.
13 through 8 games, I believe.
So yeah, they've been on a tear. And if you look, Andy Dalton's been sacked 36 times over the course of this season. And I said it in the Bills game as well, where Tyrod Taylor was in the 30s going into that game. The Pittsburgh Steelers ended up with 5 sacks in that game. They got after him like I hoped, and they need to do the same thing this week. I think week 2 they didn't rush Andy Dalton because it was raining or something. Do you remember that?
Yeah, yep.
So, I mean, this offense hasn't kept Andy Dalton upright this season. I think this is a game you want to go in there and do what you've been doing over this winning streak. And obviously, they're probably going to. But I think they are going to get to him as well. I don't know. I see a big week from Pittsburgh. I think Cincinnati doesn't really have a chance in this game. But like I said, they've had a brutal schedule. And that 5-7-1 record really doesn't show what this team truly is, especially now that AJ Green's back. Well, I think he's going to be back. If he's already practicing, it looks like he'll be playing in this game. So, I mean, it's not guaranteed or anything. I just see a big week out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't think they rushed the passer a lot in week 2 because a mix of the rain, and they just didn't have it's hard to say this. They had the players, obviously, because they're all the same players. They didn't have it yet. You know, they didn't have that grasp of the defense yet. And Artie Burns and Sean Davis have grown a lot since that first week 2 matchup. You have Bud Dupree in the lineup now, and I know you're missing Cam Hayward, but I agree. I think they're really going to get after Andy Dalton. I like this aggressive defense for a while. You know, I was saying that I think that they should just keep rushing 4 guys, because when they were rushing 5, they weren't getting there, and they were exposing their defensive backs horribly, and it was causing them to get burnt in the passing game. But now they're actually getting there, so it's nice to see them bringing 5-6 guys sometimes, and bringing guys from every direction. You see corners coming, you see safeties coming, you even see Mike Mitchell getting in there a little bit. So I'm excited to see this defense playing well, and I think they're going to wreak a lot of havoc on Cincy. The Bengals, I know they want to spoil the Steelers' parade, but I kind of feel like in their locker room, there are a lot of me guys in there. So I have a feeling they've already all checked out, and they might give it a go for the first quarter or two. But I think Pittsburgh's just going to wear them down throughout this game. And I think Big Ben's going to have a big game, but I think Le'Veon's going to have another 25 to 30 carries, and I think he's really just going to wear out this defense. I really hope Vontaze Burfict don't hurt somebody. All joking aside, I really do think that's the one thing that they could do to spoil the Steelers' playoff parade, and that's go in and knee Ben Roethlisberger in the groin or in the face. I mean, this dude, seriously, I know he, I guess, apparently apologized to Antonio Brown face-to-face or whatever. I don't care. He seriously plays the game with intent to injure. I don't like it.
See, I think it's going to be the other way around, man. I think they're going to back off Le'Veon Bell a little bit in this game, at least on the ground after 38 carries last week. I don't think they're going to try to repeat that.
Juice loves it.
Big Ben, I think Big Ben has always played great in Cincinnati, and he's going to want to rebound from that 0 touchdown, 3 interception game. So I think it's going to be happen more in the passing game this week. I think it's the Steelers are going to put up 30 on the road for the first time this season, maybe. No, I think they did put up 30 a couple times on the road, at least in Washington in week 1. I know they did.
Did you see Roosevelt Nick's nickname?
Rosie Nix.
Glock 45.
Is that what it is?
Le'Veon tweeted it out the other day. So I forget what the caption was, but it said hashtag juice, hashtag Glock 45.
JK-47 would love that.
Please believe.
What do you think?
JK-47 has a little mini JK-47.
Wait, what?
JK-47. His brother had a little mini JK-47.
Oh, his brother. I thought you said
Yeah.
he did. I was like, what? What do you think about Jeremy Hill in this game, man? He has 788 yards on the season, averaging 4 yards per carry. He has 8 touchdowns on the ground. He also has 20 receptions for 166 yards. He hasn't found the end zone in the passing game this season, but without Giovanni Bernard, he has to be used more in the passing game, obviously, and he's not as big of a threat as Gio. But we've seen Jeremy Hill in the past have a couple good games on the ground against Pittsburgh, but the way they've been playing recently, it doesn't look like something like that would happen. But it wasn't that long ago that they were getting torched in the run game. Do you think Jeremy Hill can have a good game?
I see him having around 50 yards and a touchdown, mostly because they'll get inside the goal line. And, I mean, it's hard for any defense. You know, you get a couple cracks at it. They could definitely get in. I think Andy Dalton might end up with 1, maybe 2 touchdown passes at the most. I really don't see Cincinnati scoring that many points. But I wouldn't consider 50 yards and a touchdown a good game for a running back that he thinks he's good anyway. I don't think he's very good.
We'll have to see. Andy Dalton only has 16 touchdown passes at this point in the season. And I mean, in the past, 16 touchdown passes at this point wouldn't be terrible. But in today's game, really, you need to be closer to 20 at this point at least, wouldn't you think?
Roethlisberger's up around 30, isn't he?
Big Ben has 25 touchdowns.
Believe it. Hey, how about Jim Nance giving Le'Veon 100 or 1,000-yard season when he was only at 900 yards? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did hear him say that, but
Ridiculous.
The way he was running, he knew it was going to happen.
Yes. It was maybe the NFL's mad because they set the game up for it to happen that way, and Jim Nance blew it. Way to go, Jim Nance.
Probably. NFL's fixed, man. No doubt.
Believe it. No doubt.
I'm telling you.
Well, what questions you got for me today?
All right.
Lay them on me.
Last week, Pittsburgh had 5 sacks. Andy Dalton has been sacked a ton this season. Over or under 3.5?
Over.
How much over?
7.
7. So over under 6.5. Over.
Over.
Damn.
Ball.
Le'Veon Bell, 38 carries last week, like I mentioned before. Over or under 23 carries this week. I can't see them giving him too many carries again. You have to back off a little bit. We haven't seen this guy play in the playoffs the last 2 seasons, I believe, correct?
Yeah, and Cincinnati's the one that hurt him both times.
Yeah, so I want to see them back off Le'Veon a little bit, show you can win other ways. Because really, since when Le'Veon's playing, it's either him or Brown that's doing everything, and lately it's been more Le'Veon than anything. And I'd like to see them mix it up and have other options in the in the offense. Ladarius Green came up a couple weeks ago, but it can't be all Le'Veon Bell, or we're going to be heading into the playoffs without him again. So over or under 23?
Over.
How many times is he going to touch it in the passing game then?
7.
So
He's going to have 30 touches again. I think Tomlin, man, he just likes to take a running back and run him into the freaking ground. So I think Tomlin's just going to keep giving this kid the ball.
Again, why I say Le'Veon Bell is not going to have a long career. All right, this Bengals defense has been able to turn the ball over a good bit, at least through the air. They have 15 picks on the season at this point. Big Ben, 3 picks last week. Is that going to change? Over or under 1.5 interceptions from Ben?
I'm going to give it under. I think he throws 1.
Do you know who's going to come up with the pick? Pac-Man.
As long as it's not Pac-Man Jones or Burfict, I don't care.
Carlos Dansby?
That works for me. I don't even who their safeties. They got rid of that Reggie Nelson in the offseason.
Yeah, I like that guy. That's one of my favorite safeties, actually. I wish Pittsburgh would have brought him here a couple years ago instead of Mike Mitchell.
Why their team sucks now.
All right, let me give you one more here. Let's see.
Let's do it.
Sammy Coates, over or under 0.5 catches?
Under.
So he's donezo?
I don't know. I'd like to say over, man. I really would. My heart tells me to say over, but this kid hasn't caught a pass in weeks. He's just completely fallen off the map. I understand his hand hurts. Whatever's happened to it, broken fingers, metatarsal slashes, lacerations. That I still haven't seen him get behind a defender. I mean, have you even seen him on a deep route just get behind the defender and drop a pass? I haven't even seen that in the last couple weeks. He's just non-existent. They had Kobe Hamilton starting the game last week. So, I don't know. Sammy Coates?
Garbage.
He's out.
All right, here's a little pop quiz for you. Who has more points than the Pittsburgh Steelers this season? The Jacksonville Jaguars, the New York Jets, or the Buffalo Bills?
The Bills.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Bills were averaging more points going into that game. That's the only reason I know the answer.
Yeah, they have 8 more points at this point as well. That is ridiculous to me.
Yeah, like I'm saying, man, that's the thing. That's always been our thing with Haley. We've said it all along. He gets the ball up and down the field, great, but then the offense chokes in the red zone. They haven't been able to run well in the red zone either.
All right.
I don't know if other people have noticed that.
Here's another one. Who has more points than the Steelers? Same question. The Tennessee Titans, the Indianapolis Colts, or the San Diego Chargers?
The Chargers.
All 3.
Really?
Yep.
Crazy. I didn't think the Titans would.
Yeah, the Titans actually, they're sitting at 7-6 right now, man, tied with the Houston Texans at the top of their division. That's a game we have to look out for this weekend. The Tennessee Titans play the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. That could be a big win. I mean, if Kansas City and Oakland both lost this week, Oakland goes into San Diego, which isn't a lock. If both those teams lose and Pittsburgh can win, they're only a game behind them. And I think the Steelers actually have an edge on the Kansas City Chiefs because they beat them this season. So with 2 games, let's say both of those teams lose and Pittsburgh wins, there's 2 games left in the season. If they each go 1-1, I think Pittsburgh could step up and get a bye still.
I've heard some people on the 4-letter network say that it should just be seeded 1 through 6, the top teams in the conference, and not worry about division winners because they don't want a sub-500 team in the playoffs. What do you think?
I think that's the stupidest thing. Well, then you might as well not even have divisions. You might as just have a league of 32 teams and just pick the top 12 teams and go.
Yeah, see, I agree. I think it's completely ridiculous. The whole reason you break them up into divisions and you have these teams play the divisions, maybe sometimes, and I'm not saying it's this year or whatever, but like look at the years when Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cincinnati were all really good. They beat each other up, so yeah, their records weren't great. I know we didn't have a sub-500 team from our division yet, but the NFL wants parity. They want teams to be able to go from really bad one year to Super Bowl contender the next year. So you're going to have this happen. And I don't care if you're 7-9 and you make the playoffs. If you win your division, you deserve to be in the playoffs. Bottom line.
What the NFL wants is every team to be 8-8 and it to come down to like the 12th tiebreaker for every team. All right, so what's your key to victory?
Key to victory this week. I think Big Ben's got to get it going, throw some passes to actual our receivers, not the other team. I want to see him get in a rhythm early. Depending on the weather, I haven't checked the report yet. I'd like to see him use a little no huddle. They talked all offseason of how they were going to go for 2 more and use the no huddle more, and we really haven't seen him do a lot of either outside of the Cowboys game when they went for 2 4 times and missed it all 4 times. So I'd like to see this offense be a little, I don't want to say more balanced because I really don't care how they win, but like you said in the recap, I'd like to see the passing game and the running game both work in the same game. I mean, they don't have to throw for 300 yards and rush for 200 yards, but just be consistent. You know, if you're throwing a lot and getting a lot of yards and Le'Veon only runs the ball 20 times and only gets 85 yards, that's still running the ball well because you still ran it at a good average. You just didn't need to run it a lot.
My key to victory is Big Ben. I need to see a complete turnaround from him this week. I think they're going to need him. I don't think Le'Veon Bell is going to just be able to run all over the Bengals. Although, I mean, I still think he can have a solid game or whatever, but it's not going to be like last week against the Bills. That was a once-in-a-career type game, actually. I don't know.
Unless you're Jay Ajayi.
Or maybe Le'Veon Bell. Who knows? But I think Big Ben got to come out and have a much better game. Like I said, Cincinnati has 15 interceptions on a season. Big Ben coming off a 3-interception game. Really, he didn't look good to me at all, and they really backed off the pass last week just because Le'Veon Bell was running all over Buffalo. But I think it's going to come down to Big Ben having a big game, and he needs to take care of the ball. And actually, I think he's going to. But we talked about it. I don't know which segment it was, but you asked me 9-7 or 10-6 for the division winner, and I said 9-7. I thought they were going to lose that Buffalo game, but I'm actually going to flip it now. Pittsburgh's on a roll. I think 11-5 wins this division, and it's going to be Pittsburgh.
You think they're going to run the gauntlet? What would that give them?
Wait, what?
How many wins in a row would that give them if they won the last 3?
Well, let's see. They're on a 4-game winning streak right now,
7.
so 7, yeah.
You realize they haven't even had a 4-game winning streak since like 2014 or so.
I just don't see. I mean, it all comes down to these next 2 games. I don't think they're going to lose that game against Cleveland. And we know in week 17 of the season, the Pittsburgh Steelers have won like the last 7 or 8 seasons. So I see that as a definite win. So it's going to come down to these next 2 weeks. I love how Pittsburgh plays in Cincinnati usually, and I think they're going to win this week, and I think they're going to be able to beat Baltimore too. So 11-5.
Hey, I like it. I'm not going to argue. So what's your official prediction for this game, Dash?
Well, like I said, I think Pittsburgh is going to go out there, use the passing game more than they did these past couple weeks, and they're going to score 30 points. I'm going to say they score 34 points, actually, and defensively, I like what I've seen out of them. The most points they let up in a win this season was 20 points, and I don't think they're going to let up that much, so I think this is going to be an easy win, I guess, 34-18.
I think Pittsburgh just opens it up early and pretty much runs all over Cincinnati, whether it's through the air or on the ground. I don't necessarily mean run as in run the football. I think they win this game pretty handedly. I think the defense has a big game and gives the offense some short fields. I think we get a couple turnovers defensively, and I think Pittsburgh wins 33-10.
Damn. I thought I was picking a blowout. Well, the line on this game is Pittsburgh minus 3.5, so we are saying a lock.
Yeah, please believe Pittsburgh all the way. Put your life savings on it.
Over under is 44, so we will be going. Oh no, you will be staying under. You're saying 43 points, right?
Believe it.
There you go.
Take a Steelers under parlay for $1 billion.
Nah, don't mess with the under.
Yeah, that would be bad because Pittsburgh could put up 50. Fans, let us know what you think. Hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Keep coming back to YouTube. Keep clicking subscribe. 3 more games. Dash says 3 more wins. Ball.